Ruth Langsford on caring for her mum with Alzheimer's. Ruth Langsford on caring for her mum with Alzheimer's. It's been a tough few years for Ruth Langsford, but the TV presenter isn't complaining about it. She split from her husband Eamonn Holmes in May last year after 14 years of marriage. Her sister Julia tragically took her own life in 2019 at the age of 62, and her 94-year-old mum is living with Alzheimer's 13 years after Langsford's dad died from the same disease. But the Loose Women presenter doesn't want to dwell on what's happened in the past, and instead intends to focus on caring for her mum Joan, who lives in a care home round the corner from Langsford's house in Surrey, and enjoying her busy working life. Talking about her mum, Langsford says, "She wouldn't remember what she's had for her lunch or breakfast, and if I go and see her, when I leave, if you said to her, 'Was Ruth here today?' she'd say no. But in the moment, she still knows it's me. As soon as she sees me, she says, 'Oh, what a lovely surprise.' Like she hasn't seen me for months. It's very difficult, but I'm much more well-versed in this with my mum, because of my dad. We as a family had no idea about Alzheimer's or dementia when he got it, and we were a bit lost. I learned a lot of lessons with my dad." Langsford's mum looked after her dad for about 11 years at home in Cornwall before they were eventually moved nearer to Langsford, and she recalls, "It was a struggle for her towards the end. He would get up in the middle of the night and he flushed his pajamas down the loo once and flooded the bathroom. It was awful, and she wouldn't tell my sister and I sometimes, because we lived a long way away. But eventually we realized how bad it had got, and she eventually agreed that he should go into a home." Langsford stresses that because her mum is now in a care home too, she's not looking after her 24/7, and explains, "I don't have that day-to-day care of cooking, cleaning, all those things, but I am still her main carer. So if they say your mum needs to see the doctor, or the dentist, or she needs some shower gel and toothpaste, then that does come down to me. And just generally I go in, I take her fruit, I take her flowers, I check the room, I look at her wardrobe, make sure things are hung in the right place. It's care with love, isn't it?" And it's her caring responsibility that has prompted Langsford to support a new collaboration between the charity Dementia Carers Count and Amazon to help unpaid carers get the most out of Alexa-enabled devices. They've developed a free visual guide that highlights key Alexa features, such advanced scheduling tools to help carers manage daily routines and feel more supported. After research by Dementia Carers Count found 71% of unpaid carers lack adequate support, with over a third 36% describing their role as a 24/7 responsibility. "The thing that stood out to me is the reminders, because I'm very good at putting things in the diary like mum's dental appointment, and forgetting to check it," she admits. "So the fact that you can have a visual and an audio reminder is a great function for me," she says, before wryly adding, "Actually, using the words, remembering to do it, is kind of ironic, isn't it, when we're talking about dementia?" Langsford, who has a 23-year-old son, Jack, with Holmes, stresses how difficult life can be for unpaid carers, and points out they need all the support they can get. "So many people I know, including myself, I think they call us the sandwich generation, don't they, have got possibly a full-time job, kids still at home, and often parents that need some help, and it's a lot for people to manage. Responsibility like that can weigh very heavily on people, and even though it's somebody that you really love and you want to take care of them, it's difficult and you feel responsible, especially if it's people doing it on their own. It can be very lonely being a carer. And some of them are doing this 24/7 on their own, which I think is very, very difficult. And they need all the support they can get." Having both parents with Alzheimer's, Langsford admits that whenever she forgets something there's a moment of panic when she wonders if she's starting with the disease too. But she doesn't intend to get tested to see if she's at risk of developing dementia, and explains, "Every time I forget something, those blank moments where you go, I've totally forgotten that person's name, and I work with them every day, I can feel that panic. And sometimes I look back and think, I was tired that day, but when you've had both parents with dementia of course it's on my mind, and I know there are tests you can do that can say if you're more susceptible, but I actually don't want to know. That might sound a bit childlike, but as there's no cure for it, and I know what it involves, I don't want to know. I just want to live my life. If I get it, I get it. I hope not." So instead of worrying whether she's going to get dementia, Langsford is living life to the full, really enjoying her work and keeping very busy. "You won't come around here on an afternoon and find me lying on the sofa watching a film," she says, "because I'm always pottering about, I've got things to do." She enjoys putting music on and cooking, gardening, walking her dog Maggie and switching her phone off. "I just try and walk with no earphones in, Just walking, breathing in the fresh air, walking my dog in nature, she says. And honestly, I love my work. I'm very lucky. Of course, there are days when I wish I didn't have to go in because I'm tired or whatever, but I never dread going to work. I love my job, and I'm very fortunate. But as she's now 65, doesn't she fancy taking things a little easier? No, I've got a lot on at the moment, and I thoroughly enjoy it, she insists. I feel fit, and I've started doing Pilates again, which I'm really enjoying. As I get older, I've started thinking I've got to keep supple and keep my joints moving, but I have no intention of slowing down or retiring. GB News star Eamonn Holmes leads tributes as colleague and friend dies. Eamonn Holmes has offered a heartfelt tribute to his friend and colleague, James Whale, who sadly passed away after a long battle with cancer. The renowned radio host died peacefully at a hospice in Kent on Monday, August 4, aged 74, with his wife Nadine Lamont Brown by his side, reports The Express. She shared with The Express, "James slipped away very gently this morning. It was a beautiful passing, and he left with a smile on his face." The Daily Express columnist had previously overcome kidney cancer in 2000 despite a 50% survival prognosis, but disclosed 5 years ago that the illness had returned, affecting his brain, lungs, and spine. Whale leaves behind his wife Nadine and son Peter Whale. Holmes took to Instagram to honor the esteemed journalist as the news broke, posting a touching photograph of James with his loving wife. In a poignant message, the father of 4 expressed his condolences online. His post read, "He was my friend since 1986, she was a gift from God to him. This is James Whale's wife Nadine. His pain is now gone. For poor Nadine it is just beginning. Nadine, no one could have done more for him. Thank you prayer emoji." The tribute quickly drew responses from Eamonn's celebrity peers and a multitude of fans, all offering their condolences to James Whale's bereaved family. Louise Palin, a fellow broadcaster, penned a touching tribute. "Another great character has gained his wings. Quick-witted, full of laughter, and always one step ahead. Now the heavens have a new spark of humor and heart. Fly high, you'll be dearly missed prayer emoji." Don Neeson, his colleague at GB News, reflected on his impact, saying, "We all have our guardian angels. James was lucky enough to meet his on earth. Nadine is an amazing woman prayer emoji." Nazanin Ghaffar, another broadcasting peer, expressed her sorrow, "So incredibly sad and heartbreaking. James was always so lovely, fun and kind to me. Rest in peace Whaley." James, who carved out a 52-year career in broadcasting, became known for his confrontational style, often cutting off callers with whom he disagreed, earning him the title of the world's first shock jock, though he arguably never got the credit he deserved for transforming the industry. Reflecting on his approach earlier this year, James remarked, "Having a disagreement is far more entertaining than agreeing all the time. Nobody wants everybody to agree with them, certainly not me, and I should know, I've made an entire career out of it." By the late 1980s, the James Whale radio show had become an iconic fixture on ITV, catapulting him into the limelight. He went on to present on various networks including ITV, Sky, and the BBC, before joining Talk Radio in 2016.